Hey guys, Not the Tiger here, and I'm bringing you the last race on the Tuner Car Cup. And so it's sort of a sad day. You know, it's been a nice 5-video run that I've had on this series and this circuit, so it's bittersweet to have it ending. Excuse me. And I'm racing on, this is one of my favorite tracks. This is a Japanese, it's an R246. It's just one of my favorite tracks. It's been one of my favorite tracks for a while now. And I'm recording this on the eve of my first day of class for the spring semester. It's kind of funny because some people I've been talking to, they started like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, this past week, and I guess my school and the surrounding schools are sort of late bloomers. You know, we're starting this coming tomorrow, Monday. And funny thing is I checked my what's called Cougar courses. Basically, it's like a well, it's just like Blackboard, kind of. Anyways, it's just the school's way of disseminating information. And so I went on to go print some syllabi, actually, and found I only had one syllabus online from my History 333 class, which is it's a British Empire and the Americas till 1775. Now, this is what is awesome about being a history major, and I'm using that term very sarcastically right now, is I have got a book to read already. That's not due tomorrow, but I've got a couple weeks to read this book. It's called Envisioning America, by an author named well, I'm looking at it right now. I can't find the damn author's name. I guess it's by McCall. This guy, Mancall, from the University of Kansas. And it's only, let me flip through here, 162 pages long. So I gotta have it finished by February 7th. It's not bad. I've done more reading in a week than I could read this book in a week with the amount of reading I've done last semester. But you know, I've got a paper due March 16th, and I've got a midterm already, you know, scheduled for like February 14th or something. I don't know, but it's just like you read it, like, wow, this is coming up really fast. And I don't know, for you guys who are in college, or maybe for you guys who are in high school who are watching this, you should know what kind of writer you are. And I'm a pretty slow writer, so I was just joking with Dana. I'm like, man, I should probably get started on this now, because it's going to take me forever to write this thing. I mean, I got to read it, I got to research, and then I got to write on these topics, and then we've got other assignments that are due in the meantime. But I already covered school. Now that my last video, I don't know, I got hit with the reality of the situation. It's like, wow, classes start tomorrow, and it's one of those really exciting things. I really get excited for school. I really like school. And yeah, so anyways, branching off from that topic, I promised you guys a long time ago some racing stories, and I've not really come through on that. And I've got a whole bunch. I was thinking about which one to tell you that I think would be the best, and I've got a couple that come to mind, and one's really short, so maybe I'll tell more than one, and we'll see how this goes. But back in, gosh, 2002, I believe it would have been, a group of friends up here, we formed a kind of a racing team. There was more than one racing team in the area. There's this one team called Team 1320, and they were a group of guys. We didn't really know them that well. They just became like our rival. And our team we called NOCO, standing for North County, and it was NOCO Racing. And of course, that was pretty easy to make fun of because everyone just called it No-Go Racing. But the funny thing is we had pretty fast cars in our group. My car was definitely not among the fast cars in the group, you know, since I was driving the, 1.5 liter Mirage. After I got my nitrous, though, it ran neck and neck with a lot of faster cars than it should have. So I became a part of the elite after I got my nitrous, but before that it was pretty despicable. There was this guy, I can picture his face right now, but I don't remember his name. He had this white Toyota Celica. It was that 80s one. And it was a very slow car, and he and I would race each other a lot. And it was one of those things, it was a friendly competition, but it was like we would do all sorts of quirky little things to try to beat each other. You know, it was at the point where it depended on who got the better launch, who would win. And I'd win sometimes, he'd win sometimes. You know, I'd do a modification of my car, and I might gain like a little bit on him, and he'd do another modification in his car, and he might get that back. And what was really funny is this guy, gosh, I can't remember like what his name, but we always call him a child molester because he had a thing for young girls, younger girls than him. And so I think at the time he must have been like in his mid-20s, and he had a thing for like 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds or something. Anyways, it's pretty bad. But he had this little, he thought it worked. He's like, it's a little turbocharger for your intake, and it was this battery-operated fan that when you hit the throttle, it would spin. And all of us, you know, even me at my young age, I knew that was a bunch of shit. And we eventually got him to take it out of his intake stream, and it was probably made quite a big difference when he took it out, because it was just this, all it was resistance, because there's no way in hell that little fan was gonna have the RPMs to actually suck, you know, air, more power, like bring in more vacuum than the engine itself brought in. It was really such a stupid thing that he did. But anyways, I digress. So we raced a bunch of races. There was, I don't know, nothing really stands out in my mind with this guy, but I just thought about it because we had this sort of competition, you know, and it became something that was more than just racing. It was a friendship. It was, you know, friendly competition, and it was all the good things about the racing. You know, it wasn't about, you know, some of these guys would race for like high stakes money, $1,000 one night, $2,000. You know, I mean, if you consider that high stakes, I mean, that's not, I mean, it's not like you're betting millions of dollars, but if you've got nothing, $1,000 is a lot of money. But I'll actually tell you this one race that I had with this guy. I never knew his name, but we called him Domestic Rice, and he had this. It was this like '96 Camaro. It was a V6 Camaro, and here I had my lowly little Mirage. At the time, I think I had an intake. I think I had the intake, header, full exhaust system, and I did whatever sort of lightweight modifications I could do, like taking shit out of my car. Basically was it, because the car was light enough already. But Domestic Rice was this guy. He had, like I said, the Camaro, V6 Camaro. He had an underglow kit. He had a gigantic, I think it was a metal wing on the car. It just was, you know, even though I'm an import guy, you know, I have a lot of respect, and I'm actually, you know, somewhat a domestic guy too. You know, I love my Mustangs, but there's just certain things you don't put on a domestic car, and one of them was a gigantic metal wing, an underglow kit, and oh yeah, that's right. The worst part is he had this like can exhaust. He didn't even like have domestic exhaust system. He put like a can, like a gigantic import can on his on the end of that Camaro, and it was just disgusting. And we were over at the Wild Animal Park, and that was one of our racing spots with Wild Animal Park, and we raced 3 times. I think I beat him twice, and I lost once to him. But it was a lot of fun, you know. It was a lot of fun to beat a car that had a bigger engine than me. It was like double the size of the engine that I had, and it was cool to be able to beat this guy. And my buddy Hans, he was the quote-unquote flagger, because he never really had a car. At the time, his cars were always beat up and everything, but yeah, he was the flagger. He was always known as a flagger. You could always turn him the flag. But yeah, we banged gears, like I said, 2 or 3 times. I beat him a couple times, lost once, and it was just like this other guy, where it was neck and neck. You know, really depended on who won the launch out of the hole. So if you got the hole shot, you pretty much could stay ahead. And it didn't say much for that Camaro, because that Mirage was definitely not fast, but I think what I'll have to do in the next video, because it's a really long story, is tell you guys about the block-in that we had at Kearney Villa Road. I think it was probably December of 2001, and that's when Dragnet really established itself and began to crack down on street racing, just like big time. So I'll have to save that for later. But anyways, that's my race. I finished first. I finished first overall in the championship, and I think I went like 100-some thousand, which at this time, because I was still a pretty low level, I was like, damn, that's a lot of money. And I put it towards, I don't know, some different stuff. But there's my sick ass trophy of the, you know, piston in the rod. But let's see how much money I get. It's coming. 135,000, not bad. So anyways, guys, that's my video, and I'll talk to you guys later.